Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast. And before we get started, I've got a quick announcement to make, and that is the VIP is now open. We have quite a few questions on when the VIP was going to open again. Decided to open it with a special 20% discount on the EEFX bot. So the link is in the description for you to go check that out. And again, let's quickly go through the VIP results. This week was, it's filled with quite a lot of fundamentals, and in my view, it was a bit of a harder week for us. However, we did prevail in the end. I managed to make a decent 9% profit based on, I think Friday was an amazing day for us. I know towards the end of the day we have a certain strategy where we switch our bias, and it ended up paying off, especially for US 100, and this was the fantastic trade that we ended up taking with US 100. You can see where we got our entry. Our stop loss was just above the previous high, and then we managed to clear down the previous lows which were taken out, and then price did end up clearing this low, but I was very happy with the profit, so I just got out and I was done. So absolutely fantastic day. We have altered the strategy a bit due to the fundamentals, because again we're always sort of learning, and gold is in a new territory, isn't it, that it's never been before, which is above the all-time high, above 2049. You can see that price is above at around about 2179, sorry, and there's no previous history to base our trading off. We're currently just going with new price action as it goes. So again, I'd recommend you guys to drop your risk slightly until price comes back into familiar territory, which is back below 2149. So all of last week, you can see it based on the days on the daily chart. We have Monday here, so this was the whole week. It was just purely bullish. There was no price pushing down to previous daily lows. Price just climbed throughout the whole week, took out the all-time high. So at the start of the week, we managed to catch some buys trying to attack that, which was great. But once we got above around about Thursday, Friday, I was expecting some bearish moves. However, we didn't get that. Also, price action wasn't really showing anything based on NFP as well. I was trying to catch at least a sell from here to attack the green line. However, we didn't get any based on price action. Price moved slowly, and then after 3, and this is the one thing I sent on the free channel, was it was a setup here, only expecting down moves to end the day, so I decided to lock the trades. There was a reason for that, because if price wanted to go back up, yeah, I don't want to be in that trade. One, the time's passed for the trade, so price will likely continue up, and two, it's after after 10 a.m, so I didn't want to even be in the position. It's towards the end of the day on a Friday as well, so that's why I was a bit sort of skeptical on this trade, but I decided to take it. I ended up giving us a 1-to-1, so if you risk 0.5%, you would have made 0.5%, took half the profits, and then just let the rest run back to my entry. And you can see exactly what happened if you go back on a 15-minute time frame. The entry was here. We ended up getting that little drop, and then price, what did it do? Came back towards entry and then took off a new high, and then all the people who were selling during NFP ended up getting taken out, with their SLs being hit above 21.85, and price pushed to 21.95, and they came all the way back down. So these are, price didn't give us any clues that it was going to go down. We were just using the NFP release. Price came back down. This would have been, obviously in hindsight, a good place to buy, but again, I was using my strategy based on the end of week retracement, which again I'll be including in my strategy once I've built it up. But it didn't work on gold. But however, if you go over to US 500, and I'm sure that it should still be there, you can see that it worked perfectly on US 100. Sorry if I said US 500, but you can see it worked perfectly. Where price towards the end of the week, what did it do? After 10 a.m, after this was the NFP release, price pushed up, took out the liquidity, and then price came all the way back down to end the week. So that would have been a nice sell that you would get at the end of the week, and then you got that with US 500 as well, where price dropped down, and which I was watching, but US 100 gave us better price action, so I decided to take that. And you also got a bit of a weird move with US 100, US 30, which is why I stay away from US 30, because it doesn't provide that sort of similarity between other pairs, whereas with US 100 and US 500 we can at least use some comparison tool to see which pair is actually moving a lot better. You can see if I just go into the compare tool, and this is what I sometimes use for SMT divergence, you can see that price action is almost the same. You can see the price is continuing, the right moves are happening, and that's what I use anyway. One more thing before we get into the weekly forecast, we are trading USD JPY here, which is quite interesting. So I'm looking for a potential swing next week to push price back up, based on the daily time frame, of course. So you can see price has filled a daily fair value gap, and is also just trading just below it. So it's just closed below it. So we'll see what would likely happen next week. So we're in a small trade. Price is above like what 30. Wow, it went to a 1-to-1. We're just gonna hold it and see what happens. So that's pretty much it. Let's get into the weekly forecast. So for next week on gold, again, we are still looking for bearish moves at least, but we need price action to give us the sign for that, right? So in order for us to see that, what we need to see is you'd want to see price break below a previous low, at least to break some structure. You can see here price is failing to do so every single time. We have price pulling back, and I think on NFP I was watching this level here. So just before the news release, price popped into this and then pushed all the way up to 21.85. That would have been a good buy position for NFP, but it was going against my strategy on a Friday where I would like to see price reverse and push down. But because we're in new territory, gold is not playing by the books. It's doing its own thing. So that's what all we did. We waited, and you can see that what price did after hitting this area is it continued climbing up to at least 21.95. So again, the same thing applies going forward. You have these lows here. Price will likely want to possibly push up to hit 2200, which is quite interesting and how quick it got there from 2100. So it's already touching 2200, and then you want to see what happens around there. So if I go and undo all of this and then start off on the daily time frame, based on the weekly expansion, you can see that we have tons and tons of liquidity below, which I expect to be filled very quickly. The same way every time price hits all-time high, it comes back very quickly. Price is now breaking up. It's closed outside. With a new week, I expect possibly price to push up first. So let's go on the daily time frame and look at this. You'd want to see price potentially push above 21.95. See what reaction you get from this, because if price now starts to look like, okay, we're breaking a previous low or something based on a Monday, then the start of the week you would likely get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday a bearish move, and then towards the end of the week you may get a bullish retracement, which is what I'm looking for. I'd like to see the previous lows get attacked. We have plenty of liquidity on the sell side, loads of buyers to get taken out, but it just depends on where gold's likely to expand to. After breaking all-time high 21.46, it's now pushing towards 2200, which is a key level, which I'll mark. This is a key level based on price, so that could provide its own resistance. So that is now the range we're now trading in to start the week. This is how you sort of monitor and how you analyze the market if you're quite confused. I mark the previous highs, the previous lows. We mark a certain key levels. So we've got 2200, which is a key price point, and I've got the previous all-time high marked here, and then you also can mark the previous day's lows. So again, you can see around about that all-time high it's almost Friday's previous low. So then we go into 4 hour time frame again and have a look, and you can see that we're in this sort of period here. What you'd want to see is you want to see price push up and then break certain structure, whether it's on the hour time frame or whatever, and then if you'd like to see that, you want to see price attack Friday's low and Thursday's low, and once you're in that, then price will look more bearish to me to start entering sells. But if you don't get that, what you'd want to see is you want to see price keep doing the same thing it's been doing. You know, it's sort of creating a bullish structure, and you can see these lows are still intact. You have a swing low here, intact. You have a swing low here, intact. Swing low here, again, and even this one here, you can see price respected it, pushed up, respected it, pushed up. You're getting that. Unless you see price start breaking any of these boxes, you wouldn't want to be selling mainly. I was selling on just retracements towards the end of the week, but the risk was managed anyway. So that's pretty much it from US, not US. That's pretty much it from gold in terms of a weekly outlook. I do want to see price sort of retrace back potentially back into this range, but we only can see what happens going into next week. In terms of fundamentals, do we have anything? Let's see. We have decent fundamentals. So what's the date on this? 8th of March, that was yesterday. So going on the 12th of March, we have CPI, which can provide some serious volume, and PPI. So we have decent red folders going into next week, which can provide some certain volatility, whether it requires to reverse or whether it requires to push higher. So interesting week. Again, if you guys are wondering how to join VIP, the link is in the description, and you guys can join us on our journey, and I can guide you with analysis like this. Now I'm just going to do a VIP breakdown to break down the US 100 trade that we took. So again, if you guys want to get into that, please join VIP. See you on the other side. It's been a waste. Peace out.